No permit, no hygiene check. This can't be allowed. She dialed with the precision of a general preparing for battle. Yes, hello. I'd like to report an illegal operation on Maple and 8th. A lemonade stand. Yes, children. No, I don't think this is funny. Picture this. A sunny afternoon. Children eagerly setting up their lemonade stand, complete with colorful signs and big smiles, ready to quench the thirst of passers-by. But then enter Kelly, someone who has made a reputation out of over-the-top demands. Instead of calling the authorities, wouldn't it be more beneficial for adults to step in as mentors, offering guidance and support? On a bright Saturday morning, a group of neighborhood children buzzed with excitement as they prepared to launch their very own lemonade stand. Armed with colorful pitchers, homemade signs, and a recipe passed down from their parents, they set up shop on the corner of their street. The air was filled with the sweet scent of fresh lemons and the sound of laughter as they poured their hearts into this entrepreneurial venture. Each child took on a role. Some squeezed lemons, while others counted coins and greeted customers with cheerful smiles. Their hard work and enthusiasm were palpable, embodying the spirit of childhood creativity. "Okay, team," shouted little Maya, the self-declared manager of the group. "Tyler, keep pouring. Emma, you're on coins. We want smiles, people. Smiles." Tyler laughed as he handed a cup of lemonade to a passerby. "This is better than video games," he said. "We're making real money." Emma nodded, squinting as she held a handful of quarters. "And I haven't spilled anything yet. That's a record." However, not everyone shared in their joy. Kelly, a local resident known for her strict adherence to neighborhood rules. As head of the Homeowners Association, she was infamous for her clipboard, stern frown, and passionate devotion to bylaws. As she walked by, she noticed the stand and felt a wave of concern wash over her. In her mind, the children were operating without the necessary permits, potentially violating local regulations. Motivated by a desire to uphold community standards, she made the controversial decision to call the police, believing she was acting in the best interest of the neighborhood. Kelly stopped mid-stride, her lips pursed. She clutched her phone and muttered, "No permit, no health inspection. This is completely unacceptable." She punched in the number with the focus of a commander mobilizing troops. "Hello, I need to report an unlicensed business at the corner of Maple and 8th, a child-run lemonade stand. Yes, children, and no, I'm not joking." The community's reaction to Kelly's actions was swift and passionate. Many residents rallied around the children, expressing disbelief and frustration over the situation. Social media lit up with support for the young entrepreneurs, with neighbors sharing their own stories of childhood ventures and emphasizing the importance of fostering creativity. "Are you kidding me?" One neighbor posted on the local Facebook group. "Kelly called the cops on kids selling lemonade? What's next, ticketing hopscotch?" Another added, "I bought 3 cups from those kids. That lemonade is better than anything at the grocery store." When the call came in regarding the children's lemonade stand, the police department approached the situation with a mix of professionalism and a touch of humor. Officers arrived on the scene, fully aware that they were stepping into a rather unusual scenario. Their primary goal was to assess the situation and ensure that everyone involved was safe. Upon arrival, they found the children happily serving customers, completely unaware of the controversy brewing around them. The officers quickly recognized that this was not a typical emergency call. Instead of reprimanding the kids or shutting down their operation, they took a moment to engage with the young entrepreneurs. With smiles on their faces, the officers asked the children about their lemonade recipe and even sampled a cup, which elicited giggles and cheers from the small crowd that had gathered. One officer jokingly remarked that he hadn't had such refreshing lemonade in years, lightening the mood and turning what could have been a tense situation into a memorable experience for everyone involved. As the officers chatted with the children, Kelly approached, her arms crossed tightly over her chest. She cleared her throat, drawing their attention. "Dispatch, we've got a 10-7 at a lemonade stand. Requesting backup," one officer joked as they approached the stand, sirens silent but lights still blinking. Upon arrival, they found the children happily serving customers, completely unaware of the controversy brewing around them. The officers quickly recognized that this was not a typical emergency call. Officer Daniels stepped out of the cruiser and strolled toward the stand. "Well, well," he said, adjusting his sunglasses. "Looks like we've stumbled upon the most delicious crime scene in the county." Instead of reprimanding the kids or shutting down their operation, they took a moment to engage with the young entrepreneurs. With smiles on their faces, the officers asked the children about their lemonade recipe and even sampled a cup, which elicited giggles and cheers from the small crowd that had gathered. "Can I get mine with extra ice?" one officer asked, sipping the lemonade and giving a playful nod. "Refreshing and non-lethal. We're in the clear." One officer jokingly remarked that he hadn't had such refreshing lemonade in years, lightening the mood and turning what could have been a tense situation into a memorable experience for everyone involved. "Officers, I assume you've noticed that this stand is operating without the necessary permits," Kelly said, her tone sharp but controlled. "I called because I believe in following the rules. If we allow this, what's next? Food trucks on every corner? Unregulated pop-up shops?" One of the officers, a tall man with a neatly trimmed mustache, gave her a patient smile. "Ma'am, we appreciate your concern, but this is just a lemonade stand run by a group of kids. They're learning about business and responsibility. We're not exactly dealing with an underground casino here." Kelly's eyes narrowed. "But the rules are in place for a reason. What if someone gets sick? What if they block the sidewalk and someone gets hurt?" The second officer, a younger woman with a warm, reassuring tone, chimed in. "We get where you're coming from, ma'am, but part of our job is using a bit of common sense. These kids are selling lemonade, not running a nightclub. We'll have a quick word with them about permits, but there's no need to escalate this further." Kelly huffed, clearly unsatisfied. "I just hope you're not encouraging them to break the law." The mustachioed officer chuckled, raising his cup of lemonade. "Ma'am, if supporting young entrepreneurs makes me a criminal, then you might have to lock me up. This is good stuff." The children giggled at the officer's playful remark, and even a few nearby parents exchanged relieved smiles. At that moment, one of the children's parents, a tall woman in a bright yellow sundress, stepped forward. "Excuse me, officers," she said, her voice firm but polite. "I'm one of the parents who helped them set this up. We've made sure everything is safe, and the kids are just trying to learn a bit about hard work and entrepreneurship. I don't see why this needs to be an issue." Kelly crossed her arms tighter, her lips pursed. "It's not about shutting them down. It's about setting a precedent. If we let this slide, what's to stop others from doing the same without proper oversight?" The second officer exchanged a quick glance with her partner, sensing the tension. "Look, ma'am," she said, softening her tone, "we're here to make sure everyone stays safe, but we also need to consider the spirit of community. These kids are just trying to have a little fun and learn some valuable lessons. Let's not make this bigger than it needs to be." As the conversation continued, more neighbors gathered, some offering supportive words to the children, while others shot Kelly disapproving glances. An older man with a broad smile leaned over to one of the officers. "Back in my day, we sold lemonade without a second thought. What happened to supporting our kids?" The officer nodded, appreciating the sentiment. "You're right, sir. Sometimes we just need to let kids be kids." As the small crowd grew, a local cafe owner stepped up and handed the kids a fresh stack of cups. "Here you go, guys. Keep the lemonade flowing," she said with a wink, drawing cheers from the children. While the police ultimately explained the importance of understanding local laws and regulations, They did so in a way that was constructive rather than punitive. They encouraged the children to learn about permits and business licenses, emphasizing that these rules exist to ensure safety and fairness in the community. "This doesn't mean you're in trouble," Officer Daniel said, kneeling to speak at eye level. "Just remember, someday you might own a real business. Gotta know the ropes." Following her controversial call to the police about the children's lemonade stand, Kelly found herself at the center of a community backlash that she likely never anticipated. As news of the incident spread, residents began to rally around the young entrepreneurs, turning the tables on Kelly's actions. "Don't look now," murmured one neighbor at the next HOA meeting, "but Kelly might have just made these kids local celebrities." Social media platforms buzzed with posts highlighting the absurdity of the situation, and many neighbors expressed their disappointment in her decision to involve law enforcement over a harmless childhood venture. In the days that followed, local community groups organized a Lemonade Day event to support the children, inviting them to set up their stand again, this time with a permit, of course. The event not only celebrated the kids' entrepreneurial spirit, but also served as a subtle critique of Kelly's behavior. Colorful balloons lined the street, and signs read, "We support sweet success," and "Permit approved by the people." As the community came together, Kelly faced increasing scrutiny, with some residents questioning her motivations and commitment to fostering a supportive environment for children. But the backlash wasn't just social, it quickly became official. After reviewing a growing number of complaints, the police opened a preliminary inquiry into Kelly's call, citing potential misuse of emergency services. "We're looking into whether this complaint constituted an abuse of discretion and public resources," said Sergeant Reyes in a brief statement to the local news. Kelly, meanwhile, received an email from the HOA board notifying her of her suspension pending a formal review of her conduct. A printed version of the email later surfaced online and quickly went viral. The subject line read, "Immediate HOA suspension, conduct review in progress." While there was no formal criminal charge yet, the social and administrative repercussions were significant. She became a topic of conversation at neighborhood gatherings, and her reputation took a hit. Many residents began to view her as a symbol of overreach and a lack of community spirit. "Maybe next time Kelly should bring cookies instead of complaints," someone muttered during the event, drawing laughter. It reinforced the idea that communities thrive when they come together to uplift one another, especially the younger generation. In the wake of the lemonade stand incident, the community's response was nothing short of heartwarming. Residents quickly recognized the need to rally around the children, transforming a negative experience into a powerful display of solidarity. Local businesses stepped up in remarkable ways, offering their support to the young entrepreneurs. A nearby cafe even donated supplies, including cups and fresh lemons, while a local bakery provided cookies to pair with the lemonade, creating a delightful combo that drew in even more customers. Inspired by the children's determination, community members organized a fundraising event dubbed Lemonade for a Cause. This event not only allowed the kids to set up their stand once again, but also encouraged residents to contribute to a local charity that supports youth programs. "Every dollar you spend today goes to helping more kids dream big," shouted Maya from behind the table. The turnout was overwhelming, with families flocking to the stand, eager to show their support and enjoy the refreshing drinks. The children beamed with pride as they served their neighbors, knowing they were part of something much bigger than themselves. "I didn't know lemonade could change the world," Tyler whispered. "It can," Emma said, "if it's sweet enough." This outpouring of community support highlighted the importance of solidarity during challenging times. It served as a reminder that when one member of the community faces adversity, the collective strength of the neighborhood can turn the tide. As the children learned valuable lessons about entrepreneurship, They also experience firsthand the power of community, reinforcing the idea that together they could overcome any obstacle. Children who take the initiative to start their own businesses are not just selling lemonade. They are learning invaluable life skills such as responsibility, teamwork, and financial literacy. By encouraging and supporting these endeavors, we empower the next generation to pursue their dreams and develop a strong sense of community involvement. Kelly's actions, while perhaps well-intentioned, highlight how misunderstandings can escalate into unnecessary conflicts. What began as a seemingly trivial complaint quickly escalated into a broader conversation about the importance of supporting youth entrepreneurship and fostering a nurturing environment for our children. Instead of jumping to conclusions or making complaints, taking the time to engage with one another can foster a more supportive environment where everyone feels heard and valued. Whether it's a small complaint or a grand gesture of support, our choices can significantly affect those around us. This incident serves as a reminder that we should strive to uplift one another, especially when it comes to our youth. By being mindful of how we respond to situations, we can create a culture of encouragement rather than criticism. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful tales of resilience and justice. Your support allows us to keep delivering valuable insights and stories that inform and inspire people everywhere. Thank you for watching Work Story, and see you in the next one.